A mistake is just a result that didn't work out in your favor. And a mistake is not a part of the identity. You are not a mistake. A mistake is something that happens outside of you that you learn from, that you can grow from, and that you can adopt better behaviors from. Mistakes can be embarrassing. Mistakes can completely suck. As a matter of fact, I made one today. The best thing to do is to acknowledge it fully. Yeah, the mistake happened. What did you learn from it? And move forward in either handling the situation in the most integrity-fueled way possible, or just moving forward. What did you learn from it? Take that learning and implement it.
One thing that I struggle with is that I define my identity based on what I do, and I try to do as good as possible as a result, and I become more proud of the good things that I do. But sometimes those are a mistake. But regardless, the mistakes stem or are actions. So I do not know how to omit it without it kind of affecting my identity for at least a little bit. So do you define your identity based on other factors? And what's your thought process for building your identity?
Some of the things that I'm hearing from you is that your identity is based on the expectations of others. And oftentimes this comes from parents who want the greatest for you, but that their idea of what's good for you is not necessarily in line with your authenticity. And this creates more of a people-pleasing mechanism where you take pride or place your identity, your self-worth in what it is that you can give others. And this is also a people-pleasing mechanism. So when mistakes do happen, yes, they can be very devastating because that is a reflection of you, but not a reflection of necessarily your authenticity, because you are more than what you create. So your identity is the total of all of your parts. I'm going to unpack that in the next chit. Here are the 4 aspects of an individual's identity, and granted, it goes beyond this. It goes into your purpose and your value systems. And your purpose is basically your main drive in life, what your actual authentic self wants to create within this lifetime. And your value system is how you draw your boundaries and how you basically navigate that course to your purpose. It is your compass in life. So that is just a long way of saying you are more expansive than you know. But most of all, it comes down to owning it and knowing yourself. And lastly, to overcome this mechanism of placing your identity outside of you, one of the things to do is focus on your excellence. And this is where having your value system is going to be most important to you, so you know where to draw boundaries. And this also helps you to monitor how you are personally doing without the external expectations of others. So once you do figure out your 5 or 6 most important values, bring excellence into that. So right now it seems like there is a more of a perfectionism underlying what you do. But when you bring excellence into that, excellence allows space for mistakes, because overcoming the mistake in itself is a part of excellence. It is how you redeem yourself from that mistake. It's how you overcome that mistake. It's how you make things right. And in that making right, or making things whole again, that in itself is excellence. So at the end of the day, strive for excellence instead of perfection. Perfection doesn't leave space for mistakes, and that causes a problem overall in you overcoming the mistake because it wasn't perfect the first time around. So shift that mindset into excellence and make things right when a mistake happens. And I'm actually going to finally close this off with start living for yourself. Start being in your authenticity rather than trying to please others or trying to please the world, and have excellence in your work. If it doesn't work out, granted, you can always make it better, different, and problem solve much more effectively without having that pressure that you're putting on yourself right now.